Thanksgiving. I'm still at it, guys and girls. This is a side dish that is a nod to my very good friend Diane. I moved to Fulton County from Long Island in 1985, and we worked at a restaurant called the Manor House. And Diane was 29 when I was 21. So now I'm 61. So we're talking about a 40-year plus friendship. And like the bottom fell out of our lives several times together. We've been through the good, the bad, the ugly. And my family took on her family. She was a single mom with 2 girls for a very long time, and my mom and dad loved her to pieces, and so did my siblings, and I love her children, and I'm her daughter Lauren's godmother. And Diane helps me to this day with my little grandson. Where I'm going with this is every year we invited Diane and her family to our big family's Christmas and Thanksgivings and things, and when she came she would bring Waldorf salad, which was something I never had growing up. My brother-in-law Jeff loved it. Right off the bat he already knew what it was. None of us did. But since then, if Diane's not coming, I make a Waldorf salad. She makes a great one, and I already realized I forgot something. Okay, so it's basically apples, nuts, and grapes, and it's probably not exciting for you to watch, but I wanted to do the nod to Diane and make it. So the recipe that I've been following, which is similar to hers because she told me what was in hers, it's going to sound strange, but trust me, when you put it all together, it's scrumptious. I probably should have cut my grapes in half for you because I'm going to sit and actually have a bunch of grapes. But this recipe says 2 apples. I'm going to start with the 2 apples, and I'm going to use a big knife. I'm going to not wear glasses so that I can wear so I can work quickly. 2 apples cubed up. I'll get those seeds out. This is not my knife, guys. I'm still like at a loss without my knife. I washed these apples first, and you dice these up pretty small because you're making a salad. I'm really lost without my knife, so I want to get that out, and I want to get these out. So tell me what kind of little traditions you have with your family that would be odd to someone else. This was something Diane used to bring, this and a rum cake. My dad loved the rum cake. I love the rum cake, but you already saw she would just add it to the buffet of pies that we have. And years ago, my brother Steve owned Partner's Pub in Johnstown. He's actually the guy who sold it to the Landseys. So our family was so big at that time when everybody was alive. It was fantastic that we actually had Thanksgiving at Partner's Pub. It was closed, but we had aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, friends. Everybody who had nowhere to go came to our family function. And I have a picture from them. And I want to say it was 2000, I don't know what year. I don't know what year. I feel like it was right after my mom passed away because she was not in the photos that I remember. So maybe 2008. And I also think that's the year the Landseys bought it, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. Where I go with this is Diane brought the rum cake and the Waldorf salad to that, and I have a picture of the buffet of the desserts where my sister and I each baked the 2 pies and brought 1 each, and Stephen's birthday was the other day. He's born on the 24th of November, and I made my mother, that's how I know my mother wasn't, because I made him his birthday cake that year. She used to make him homemade, from scratch, German chocolate cake. And she asked me if I would make that for him that year. And I did. And I never made it again, not for him or anybody else. The one she used, I swear I dirtied 10 pots and pans. It was in all different steps. She did certain things on the stove, certain things in the hand mixer. I love her to pieces, Mom, but that was a lot of work. And there's no other German chocolate cake like it, though. So maybe someday I'll do it again. I obviously can't do it for Steven since he's passed away now. But I miss those days. Like, we used to have so many of us contributing to the holiday, and it would be huge. Like, our families, our little grandkids don't know what that was like. My children do know. They remember all my aunts and uncles and cousins and their cousins. And my sister and I, my son Tommy and my nephew are 3 months apart in age. So they grew up together. You had to watch them. You had to watch them. Let's leave it at that. They got into a lot of trouble if you didn't watch them. They were good boys, don't get me wrong. But they were 2 boys that they were like one would have the bad idea and the other one was smart enough to come up with the bad idea and one was not smart enough to like implement it. So they've done some mischievous little things when they were tiny kids. Those years went by so fast. We raised our kids together. My sister and I used to walk down, we used to live in Johnstown, walk down to Main Street. There was little bakeries, there was a little pizza shop with babies. Basically, we had babies. Secondhand rose shop. I mean, if you're from Johnstown, you probably remember Betsy had secondhand rose. Sorry, I'm talking. 2 apples chopped up. And now I'm chopping up 1 stalk of celery. Very small. You don't want to have big bites of celery. I also don't want to lose my knuckles. So I'm going to talk to you and look at my celery. What this has in it, the components are apples, grapes, celery, lemon juice, walnuts. It has a mayonnaise, lemon, salt, and pepper dressing. And I have seen it with raisins in it, but I don't think Dianne put raisins in hers. So I'm going to make it like Dianne. I probably should have had her write my recipe, but I had used this one for the past bunch of years. I rinsed these grapes before I came over here. So now I'm going to cut some in half until I see how many. What does it say it should do? 1 cup of seedless grapes halved. Oh, and a 1/4 cup of raisins is in my recipe. So you know what? I'm going to put them in. Because I think I did last year. I liked it with raisins. A lot of times people make broccoli salad and has raisins. And everybody's like, ew. You guys are they're just too picky. If you've got the ingredients and got the room in this bowl, then why not? I'm going to do it. I like raisins. It's I was telling my granddaughter yesterday. Rachel Ray, I watched since the beginning. Some people love her, some people hate her. I love her. And she used to say, you're the queen of your kitchen. If I'm making something and you don't like it, don't make it. Put in the ingredients you like. Nobody can tell you what to do in your kitchen. She just said recipes are methods. They're just methods. What you do with that recipe is really up to you. So all my life, I've said this before, I never follow recipes. I know people that cannot cook unless they have the paper right in front of them. One of them I gave birth to. She doesn't cook without a recipe, my daughter. That's okay, because recipes, when I do cook with a recipe, I feel like I went out to eat that someone else cooked for me. So I like recipes, and I'm, at this age, really starting to follow them a little more, because, like I said, I feel like someone else is cooking for me if I do it. But for the most part, raising children, they're all halved. I want my big knife. We're putting them in. Raising children, I can honestly tell you I used to just cook from my head. And yeah, it's just how I rolled. So a little salt and pepper. Sounds weird? Does it sound weird? I'm not making a lot. So 2 apples with a little salt. The black pepper makes the fruit delicious. How much? This says how much walnuts. 1 cup of toasted walnuts. We're going to say these are a cup. That's too many. I got to fit them in the bowl. So, I mean, I have every nut you can think of. I'm a nut lover. And they're good for you. The salad is actually good for you. The dressing is mayonnaise. A lot of it. It said 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise for those 2 apples. I'm going to eyeball that and see. But tomorrow is Thanksgiving. And you only live once. So, live it up. I'm going to put these nuts in. That's not a cup, but that's okay for this container. I can tell. It says lemon. I mean, we're going to do it we're going to do it right. Because the lemon's probably going to keep the apple from turning also. Plus give it, oh, I just wish I was as strong as I used to be. I'm like Toby Keith. I ain't as good as I once was. Lemon juice, for sure, is going to make this delicious. So I should probably read how much it said, because that definitely was a tablespoon. Now it says 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise and some raisins. 1/4 cup of raisins. So let me get those out. Do not look at my mess. You guys, it's a mess. I've been cooking for days. So Here's my quarter cup of raisins. Let's just say that is a quarter cup. Well, maybe a few more. Okay. Tell me how you cook. With the actual measuring, or do you actually do what I do and guesstimate? So 6 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're talking a regular tablespoon. I'm not using a measuring spoon, so I probably should have. Now I'm going to read this all to myself and you. 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, pinch of black pepper, 2 sweet apples, cored and chopped, 1 cup of seedless grapes halved, 1/4 cup of raisins, 1 cup of thinly sliced celery, 1 cup of walnuts. And for the Waldorf salad, the way this used to be served, it says it on there, serve it in lettuce cups. We don't do that. We just serve it on the side like you would. Have you ever had a pineapple carrot salad? I mean, it's just something refreshing to go with all the heavy because we don't have enough food. I don't know. I don't think Diane put as much mayonnaise as this. Hers was not as mayonnaise-y. And I'm a mayonnaise lover, sadly, so I'm not going to be mad at this for having too much mayonnaise. But we'll see. I mean, like all salads, when you make them the day ahead, it absorbs, the apples will absorb dressing. So the dressing is primarily, I thought there was sugar in this. Not in this recipe, but I thought Diane sprinkled some sugar. You know what I should do is just say, Diane, will you jot down your recipe, which I'm sure is in her head. We have gone back through the times, let me tell you. I got some seriously great girlfriends that go back to age 4. No kidding. I've stayed friends. Some people go through friends and go through friends and go through friends. I have not. I have been very lucky to have the same friends my entire life. If I make friends with you, and there's been a couple that I had to get rid of for other reasons, but they were never really friends in the first place. If you have a true friend, you don't need to have to worry about it. Okay, I'm going to taste this. I would not have put this much mayonnaise. I can already tell. It's delicious. But it's delicious. I want a little sugar. I'm almost positive Diane put a little sugar like you do for the broccoli salad. I didn't put much. Here's another spoon, just so nobody says, you did not use the same spoon. Because other people are eating this. If this was just me eating it, I would have used the same spoon. Yesterday, no, let me taste. Yesterday, good. Sprinkle of sugar, Waldorf salad done. Nice little container of it. This is homemade applesauce. Again, this was 2 apples. Homemade cinnamon applesauce. 2 apples. I'm gonna taste it. Ridiculous. So good. I diced them up, peeled them, diced them, put them in a saucepan. 2 tablespoons of water, 1/3 cup of light brown sugar, sprinkle of nutmeg, teaspoon of cinnamon. He likes the cinnamon. Cooked it low and slow. Smashed them up with the beef masher. You know, the thing that I have that mashes. And then that's a 24-ounce little container of homemade applesauce. Weston, everybody, back to what I was going to tell you. Yesterday on YouTube, my pecan pie recipe. I had a comment from a man. Said, you lost me at maple syrup. Now, if you looked at the recipe, I tried to make a recipe that didn't have corn syrup, even though I kept saying cornstarch through the video. He said, you must be a Yankee to try some Southern bourbon one. The other thing Rachel Ray said, like I said, recipes are a method. He made fun of how I said pecan. He said it's pecan, potato. You guys, just because I made this way, or Reed Drummond's one way, or there's no right and wrong way. There is no accents. I'm a Long Island girl that lives upstate New York. I have an accent. The Southerner has an accent. The guy next door has an accent. Everybody's recipes can be different. That's what makes the world go round, man. We talk different. We cook different. We are different. So people just let it go. Pecan, potato, potato. Who the heck cares? There are bigger problems. So I said to him, that's the good thing about recipes and accents. They can all be unique. Isn't that how we should look at the world? So if I do something you don't like, you don't make that. You make what you like. You're the queen of your kitchen. So that is Waldorf salad. Is it ever something you would do? Sorry, I'm talking. Have a great day. I'll be back.